We've all been there, buying a flashlight that promises insane brightness, but then barely lights up your backyard. That's why today I'm testing the WUBEN L3 and the WUBEN PL01 to see if they actually deliver. One's designed for sheer power and the other's designed for everyday carry. So let's find out which one of these really shines. Now, before we do the brightness test, there are a few important things that I think you should know about these lights before we get started, and I'll tell you about those right now. First off, these lights feel really good in the hand. They are both made of anodized aluminum, which does give them a really good rust, scratch, and drop resistance. And the L3 has some really good weight to it, and that's half in part due to the 21700 4800 milliamp hour battery that's inside. So let's see what these actually weigh. They both have batteries built in. They are replaceable as well. This one is 179.9 grams with the battery inside, and the PL01 is 47.6 grams with the rechargeable battery inside. So the L3 has a max of 3000 lumens. It's got a 226 meter throw distance. Another really cool feature about the L3 is it does have a waterproofed USB Type-C port that's covered under this little waterproof seal here. If you want to access it, all you simply need to do is unscrew this little piece here, lift it up, and it exposes the USB Type-C port. This port can also be used to charge other devices at 18 watts. So if you have a phone or pretty much any other device that you want to charge up a little bit, you can use your flashlight to do that. It's also got a little status LED right here to let you know what the charge is at when you're charging that up. It's got 7 lighting modes. It's also got an IP68 waterproof rating with a 1 meter drop resistance, scratch, and corrosion proof construction. Now, the only way to activate this light is with this little rubbery switch on the back here. It's got a momentary switch where you can simply press it in a little bit, and it lights up to the last light that you actually use. So if you had it on a low mode and you press this button momentarily, it'll continue on the low mode. You can also continue to press in the button all the way and it'll keep that light on whatever level again you left it at, and you can just simply kind of press in the button halfway and it'll lower the light intensity. There are about 4 different light intensities. There's also an SOS and a strobe mode as well. You can also make this go to turbo just by simply having the light on and then pressing in halfway and holding for about 1.5 seconds. And then when you release, it goes back to whatever level you had on the light. And then to turn it off, you just simply press in the button all the way. It also does have this really beefy belt clip here. You can easily put this on your bag or your belt or anything like that. And it also does kind of rotate around the light if you want it to. Just simply rotate it wherever you need. And if you want to change out the battery, the little back portion here does unscrew. It does have a little gasket on it to keep that kind of waterproofed. And there is that 21700 battery. So if you buy a couple of these and you run out of battery and you don't want to charge, a couple hours, you can just simply pop in a new one and you're good to go. And another thing I did also notice about this light is there is no lock on here. So if you put this in your bag or something and something does press the light will turn on. It's also got these little aluminum edges that do come up over the little button here, so it helps it not get pressed accidentally. And the L3 also has a runtime of up to 120 hours. This light also does come with the USB Type-C, the USB Type-C cable for charging the light or your other devices. It also comes with a lanyard and a couple other gaskets in case the ones you have in your light wear out. And let me show you really quick that this light can charge your other devices. I've got my Galaxy S25 Ultra here. We'll plug in the USB Type-C into the light. Then we'll plug the other end into the bottom of our phone here. You can see that it does have a little blue light on here to let you know that it is charging. And there you go. So you can see that it is charging my phone right now. And you have the little light here blinking, most likely to let you know that the battery is running kind of low. Now on to the PL01. This is a really nice light. Even though it is kind of small, don't let that deter you. This does have a really nice solid construction as well. And it also has a really nice belt clip on here that's dual-sided. So not only can you clip this onto your bag, your pants, but you can also clip it onto maybe a hat that you have if you're doing some work at night and you need to see hands-free, or maybe you do some fishing or something like that. This will really come in handy. So the PL01 has a max of 650 lumens. It also has a couple different ways of being charged. One by the rechargeable battery inside, which is pretty interesting, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Or you can use two AAA batteries to power this light as well. It's got a beam distance of 110 meters. It uses a 315D lamp bead. The color temperature is 5000 K, and it's got a CRI of 90 or greater. It's got 4 lighting modes. It's also IP68 waterproof rated, and you can also clean this with alcohol, and it's got an impact resistance of 2 meters. And this little light also has a runtime of up to 125 hours on its moon mode. And the PL01 also comes with a lanyard, some extra gaskets, and a USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable. So you can see the one little LED right in there. And here is the clip that I mentioned before. You can see that it is dual-sided. You can slide something in from the back or even the front, and it's also pretty solid. Doesn't feel cheap. This also can be rotated around the light if you really need to do that. This also does have a rubberized button on the back here. You just press it in once and it turns the light on, and if you press it in halfway, it makes the light kind of go through its 4 different modes. And it'll also stay on that last mode as well. So if you turn it off and turn it back on, it goes right back to the mode that you left it on. This does not have an SOS or a strobe mode. And there's also no way to lock this light either. Now let me show you the battery really quick. It's really cool. Again, the back cap just kind of screws off here. It does have a little gasket there to help keep it nice and waterproofed. And here is the rechargeable battery. And the rechargeable battery itself has a USB Type-C port on it for charging. So you just need to take the battery out of your light to charge it up. And if you plug it in here, you'll see that it does also have a little LED that lights up to let you know the status of the charging as well. Right now it's charging, so it's showing red. Again, you can also buy a couple of these batteries. So if you don't want to charge them up on the go, you just simply pull out the one that was needing to be charged and put in a fresh one, and you're good to go. Screw this back on and you're all set. So now that we've gone over all the features, let's move on to the brightness test. So now we're going to start our brightness test, and we're going to start off with the PL01. And we already know that it works really well in up close situations, but I want to see how far the beam can actually go. And we're going to start off with its moon mode. So here it is on its moon mode right now, and I really can't see much more than maybe like 5 or 6 feet in front of me right now. If I look down at my feet, you can see that it illuminates pretty good. But then the further out you get, you really can't see anything. So moon mode is pretty good for, really up close situations. So now let's turn it on to its low setting. And as you can see so much more just having it on its low setting. There down to my feet. And I can probably see maybe, I don't know, I'd say about maybe 25 feet away is pretty accurate. But it definitely lights up a pretty decent area to where I can, kind of walk around and really see a lot more. So now let's move on to its medium mode. You can see that it brightens up a lot more. And now I can probably see maybe 30 to 40 feet. Probably a lot better. There's a berm out in front of me. Kind of see the surrounding area here. So that's definitely a pretty good brightness too. And then let's move on to its highest level. And that actually makes it a lot brighter. Now I can kind of see that berm back there. That's probably maybe about, I'd say about 50 to 60 feet away. And you can definitely see a lot more right in front of you. Super bright down at your feet, and you can see a good distance. So this little light can actually be pretty good, especially if you're, out and about. Maybe you're on a trail or something, you just kind of need to see a little bit ahead of you. This would definitely come in handy, and it's super light and compact to kind of put in your bag and take around. So now we're going to move on to the brightness of the L3, and this one goes up to 3,000 lumens. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to see a lot further than we could with the PL01. So again, we're going to start off on its lowest mode, which is moon mode. And you can kind of already see that in its moon mode, I can definitely see a little bit further than I could with the PL01. You can see how it's definitely a lot brighter on its lowest mode. And again, this would probably be good for really up close situations, not too far ahead. So now let's move on to its low mode. And there, as you can see, we can see a lot further. If you guys can see that berm a little bit back there. And again, this is on its low mode. It's be good if you need to maybe take your pet out to go to the bathroom, or even maybe walk down a trail or something, just so you can kind of see a little bit ahead of you. Now let's move on to its medium. As you can see, it's a lot brighter, and we can see a little further here, and you can see that berm a lot better with the L3 than we could with the PL01. You can see definitely a lot further. This would be another good normal setting that you can use just, when you're out and about. You don't need, the brightest mode to still light up a pretty good area. And you can see it's got a hot spot in the middle, and then it kind of fades off to the sides. So you can see a pretty good sized area here. So now let's move on to the high setting. And you can definitely see a lot more. You can see that berm back there, very easy now. And again, that is probably, I'd say, about 50 to 60 feet away. You can see that electrical pole all the way out there. That's probably, I'd say, maybe 150 to 200 feet out there. Lights up pretty easily on its high mode. And remember, we still have turbo. So this is a pretty good setting to have. You can see a really big area. So I'll put it on the electrical pole here, and I'm going to put it on its turbo mode. There it is on turbo. You can see that it definitely lights up that electrical pole a lot better. We can see so much further now with the turbo mode. The light is starting to get warm, and it's probably going to get hot in a couple seconds, but you can see a lot further. Definitely lights up a pretty good size area here. There's that electrical pole again. And then we'll put it onto its strobe mode. So if you're photosensitive to strobing lights, please look away in 3, 2, 1, go. So you can see it lights up that electrical pole pretty good on strobe. And that berm out there. It's a pretty bright strobe. And now I'm done with the strobe. You can look at the video again. And then here's that momentary mode where you can just press and hold on the button without actually pushing it all the way in. So you can very quickly get your last brightness that you left the light on. It works really well, very quick. And then on the left here, I've got the PL01 on its moon mode, and on the right, I've got the L3 on its moon mode. You can see how much brighter the L3 is than the PL01. Then we'll put both of the lights on their medium mode. So here's the PL01 on its medium mode. And then next to it is the L3 on its medium mode. You can also see the difference in color temperature as well. The L3 has a much brighter spot. And then here's the PL01 on the left with its medium mode, and then here comes the L3 on its medium mode. So you can definitely see that the L3 is a lot brighter than the PL01, and the spot is definitely a lot brighter. And then here we have the PL01 on its high mode, and then we have the L3 on its high mode. So you definitely see when the L3 comes in, it lights up a much further area than the PL01, but the PL01 is actually pretty good for its size. So both of these lights are pretty nice, and I think they'd be a great addition to anybody's flashlight collection. They each have their own use case. I really do like the fact that they're really well built, just like all of WUBEN's lights. The PL01 is nice and compact. It can get pretty bright, and I also like the fact that they put a dual-sided little belt clip on here so you can easily attach it to your book bag, a hat, or something so you can use it hands-free. And the L3 is also a nice beefy light. It's very solid. I like the momentary switch that you can very easily quickly hit if you need just like a quick burst of light, and it can also get pretty bright. And I do like the fact that it does have a waterproofed little USB hidden port on here for the recharging. And for the PL01, you can easily use the rechargeable battery, or you can pop in a couple AAA batteries to quickly get a light if you don't want to waste time recharging that rechargeable battery. So if you guys do like these and you want to pick them up yourself, I will be putting product links in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know by hitting the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.